Hello there everyone, you're now with me, Cheryl Shamina, for your English news at 5. And of course, let's get to the headlines. Now, good news today as the B40 Group in Sarawak can purchase houses in state government housing development areas for no more than 120,000 ringgit. Now, this is in part of the state government's long-term plan for structured development in urban areas and ensuring the lower income group will not be displaced.
Yang B40, mereka boleh membeli rumah yang dibangunkan oleh kerajaan, iaitu harga lebih kurang 120,000 ke bawah, supaya mendapat, tapi nya mestilah level income-nya low lah, dapat membeli rumah. Kalau punya si ada deposit, nya boleh meminjam daripada Mutiara dan Mortgage dengan interest 1% saja. Inilah terrendah. Dan ini adalah satu daripada pendekatan kerajaan untuk membantu masyarakat kita memiliki.
Chief Minister Abang Johari Tun Openg highlighted several village expansions and development projects to be involved in the scheme. This includes Kampung Semayang Semerah Padi, Kampung Semayang Pinggir, Kampung Semayang Tanah Merah, Kampung Sejingkat and Matang Mile 10.
Ada kawasan-kawasan baru yang telah wujud, umpamanya Kampung Rampangi daripada fasa 1 hingga ke fasa 5 yang sedang, yang sudah dan akan dilaksanakan. Keduanya, kita ada kawasan Semayang Semerah Padi, fasa 1 hingga fasa 5. Selain daripada itu, ada kampung juga yang baru, yang wujud, Semayang Pinggir, lepasnya Matang Batu 10, dan juga termasuk lagi Semayang Tanah Merah, Kampung Sejingkat. Kampung Sejingkat pun hendak diperbesarkan. Selepas itu Kampung Buntal. Kampung Buntal mungkin akan diperbesarkan di belakang kampung sekarang. Dan seterusnya Muara Tebas.
The areas named under the Village Expansion Project are all under the jurisdiction of the North Kuching City Commission or DBKU. He said this during the Kejiranan Mesra 2020 dinner at the State Legislative Assembly Banquet Hall on Friday.
Right. Now, as we anticipate the upcoming celebration, Christmas visits will only be limited to private gatherings of not more than 20 people. This comes also of a period of time at any one time on December 25.
According to STMC, the standard operating procedure for Christmas Day celebration will limit private gatherings to only close family members. According to Senior Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, church prayer session will also be allowed at conditional and recovery MCO areas but at a limited time. He said this ruling only applies to areas under recovery and conditional movement control orders, whereas in places under enhanced MCO, only household gatherings are allowed.
Lawatan ke rumah di kawasan PKPB dan PKPP sama saja bagi sambutan perayaan di hari pertama di rumah kediaman landed bertanah hanya di kalangan keluarga terdekat dan tidak melebihi 20 orang pada satu-satu masa, manakala bagi rumah kediaman serata dengan keluasan kurang dari 1,500 kaki persegi tidak melebihi 10 orang, dan bagi keluasan 2,500 ke atas, 2,500 kaki persegi ke atas tidak melebihi 15 orang pada satu-satu masa.
Now, following our next announcement, blind massage and reflexology centres will be allowed to operate starting December 21. Now, Sarawak Disaster Management Committee, or SDMC, said they are allowed to operate as long as they comply with standard operating procedures.
According to STMC, each establishment must apply for written approval from the Social Welfare Department in your respective divisions and also present the copies to the local authorities. The Social Welfare Department must also check to ensure the premises adhere to the stipulated guidelines. Furthermore, operators and employees are required to undergo testing before being allowed to work, and test result must be negative and not more than 3 days before operation. A list of employees who have undergone this test should be displayed. The committee added that the detailed guidelines can be obtained from the official website of the Sarawak Social Welfare Department.
Right. Now, 106 Malaysians who were stranded in Papua New Guinea since mid-October have safely returned home on December 17. Now, the return was facilitated by Sarawak Transport Minister Dr. Lee Kim Shin to Kuching International Airport.
Those stranded included 91 Sarawakians, 5 from Sabah, while the other 10 were from West Malaysia. Lee said the stranded Malaysians were working in Papua New Guinea under 33 companies of different sectors such as logging, retail service, and office work, and wanted to return home as most of them have completed their employment contract. However, no flights were chartered since October due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This has resulted in some of the passengers were stranded in Port Moresby since November 19, while some got stranded across various provinces in Papua New Guinea. A Sarawakian, on behalf of all the other stranded Sarawakians, sought Lee's help by contacting him via Facebook Messenger. This prompted Lee to act quickly to facilitate their return to Malaysia. Meanwhile, Lee's coordination with the State Disaster Management Committee also ensured the smooth entry of the passenger into Sarawak.
Hello there everyone and welcome back. Now as we dive into the next news, the Sarawak Arts Council or SAC will fully operate as a government statutory body effective January 1st, 2021. The matter was revealed by the State Minister of Tourism, Arts, Culture, Youth and Sports of Sarawak, Dato' Haji Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, who said SAC had been parked under the ministry for a long time.
Mulai daripada 1 hari bulan Januari 2020, Majlis Seni Sarawak akan beroperasi sepenuhnya sebagai sebuah badan berkanun kerajaan. There have been so many years that you have been parked under the ministry. All the decision before this has got to be through the ministry, but
According to Karim, Sarawak Arts Council is an agency that plays an important part in contributing to the tourism sector in the country. He said this during his speech at the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Sarawak's Appreciation and Award Ceremony held in Kuching on Friday. At the same time, he also presented an award to each of the 10 recipients of Excellent Service Award or APC for the year 2019.
Now, the Sarawak government has decided to extend the RM1 flat rate bus fare program next year. Now, this is in line after receiving positive responses from the public. Now, the extension was made to lighten the financial burden of the people, particularly the low-income group during the COVID-19 pandemic.
According to Minister of Transport Dato' Lee Kim Shin, the program, which was launched in May this year, is aimed at encouraging more people to use public transport and to reduce the number of private vehicles on the road. He said the program will involve 12 bus companies covering 48 approved bus routes by the Commercial Vehicle Licensing Board in Kuching, Cebu and Miri. Lee, who announced the continuation today, added that the program will be expanded to Bintulu next year. He also said the ministry would collaborate with the local government and housing ministry as well as local authorities to enhance related infrastructures in the upgrading and building of bus station and bus stops in Sarawak.
Now, the General Operation Force, or PGA Sarawak Brigade, arrested one local man and seized a total of 3,908 cartons of contraband cigarettes, estimated to be worth 626,469 ringgit during a raid under Ops Benteng and Ops Libas.
Sarawak PGA Commander Senior Assistant Commissioner Mancha Atta said the raid was conducted by a team from Sarawak PGA's intelligence unit at 8 a.m. Mancha added the case was later handed over to the Padawan Police District Headquarters for further action, and the case is being investigated under Section 135, Clause 1, Clause D of the Custom Acts of 1967. Meanwhile, Mancha also stated that the obscene bus was executed at various locations in Limbang and Cebu and successfully seized 15 crates of beer, 6,800 cigarettes of various brands, 3 units of motorcycles worth 32,500 ringgit, and 8 sacks of patin and tapah fish. Mancha also disclosed that an Indonesian man was arrested by a team of police from the 11th Battalion Batukawa PGA near Kampong Mongkos, Serian, for attempting to enter the state illegally using illegal routes. On further investigation, the man failed to produce legal travel documentation, and the case has been handed over to Syrian Police Headquarters.
Now, as we wrap up the news at 5 today, a man was arrested for punching a food delivery rider in front of a coffee shop at Jalan Desa Wira today.
Padawan Police Chief Superintendent Aidilbol Hassan said the incident happened around 12:20 p.m. when the 21-year-old rider was on his way to deliver a food order to MJC New Township. The suspect wanted to hit the rider again using a cutter but was stopped by the rider's friend. The suspect then came out of his car and punched the rider, causing him to sustain injuries on his mouth. Aidil noted that the rider immediately lodged a police report and is now receiving treatment at Sarawak General Hospital. Shortly around 2:45 p.m., a police team led by the rider managed to arrest the 34-year-old suspect at Kota Sentosa Police Station. Background checks also found that the suspect had 3 past criminal records and also tested positive for methamphetamine. The suspect will be remanded to facilitate investigation under Section 323 and Section 506 of the Penal Code.
And that concludes the news at 5. Here with me, Cheryl Shamina. Stay tuned for the 11:30 Nightline as we dive into the news of what's going on in Sarawak, its regions and the world. I'm Cheryl Shamina. I'll see you tonight. Take care.